Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano. As business leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs, we know that at the heart of everything are our customers, and we have got to maintain quality and consistent relationships with that. Meaning that you are going to need to have a system to help you to be able to deliver value and stay visible. So, we're going to be talking about the ins and outs, the pros and cons, what we need to be looking for in choosing a contact relationship management system that's going to work for you. And to help me with this conversation is my friend Mark Wetzig, who is a business growth strategist. So, Mark, welcome to the show.
Yep, good to be here. Good to see you again.
I am so glad that we're talking about this because, off camera, you and I were talking about this, and this can become a real rabbit hole for people. But we've got to make sure that we are streamlining it, because if we don't take care of our customers, if we're not showing up for them and delivering that value, we may not stay top of mind the next time they need some help. So let's talk about this first, and talk to me a little bit about how a CRM really contributes to the growth and the delivery of value to our customers and our business.
Beyond being able to get everything organized in one place, which is sometimes a real challenge, you really have to look at this, and I have people look at it from the customer's perspective. So in the journey with a customer and getting them engaged in their relationship management, it's a funnel process and then an after sale process. So you start with the top of funnel. You're creating awareness. You're creating a pipeline. You're creating interest. They're giving you, information, an email address, a phone number, whatever it might be. And then the middle of funnel is where the information is being shared. And, again, they're going through the customer process. Bottom of funnel is when you're actually making the sale. And then there's information that can happen as they are now a paying customer that becomes post-sale. So if you don't look at the CRM system as something that is in your business, but look at it more from the customer's perspective. If I'm a consumer, what kind of interaction do I need from the company at a certain point in time in my journey from becoming, a suspect, a prospect to a suspect to an actual client to a repeat client. That's, to me, I have found that is the best way to really match up an effectiveness of a CRM system. It can work great internally, but if it's not connecting with the C in the CRM, then you've kind of, you've won the battle, but you've lost the war.
Exactly. Because, our clients are that database that we cultivate. That's really the heartbeat. That's the central nervous system to so much of our business. And there are hundreds, thousands of CRMs out there. So I know that there is not one size fits all. And I know that there are some key things that we need to look for. So on an overall perspective, what would you say are some of the key features that somebody should be looking for when they are choosing their CRM?
First of all, it should be easy to work with. And we've talked about this previously. It also is most effective if somebody specifically in the organization is responsible for the management of the CRM. If you leave it to strictly salespeople, it's not going to happen. Or it will happen very sporadically at best. So you really need to, the things you really want to look for is the management side of it, the contact management, the lead management, the opportunity management, and, understanding what that means. Contact is one thing. How many steps are you really looking at in order to engage and finally sell a client? Is it more transactional and it's only a few steps, or is it something that's more relational and it's going to take a longer period of time? And then the other one is just the opportunity itself. Are you looking for a single purchase, or is there something where you're looking for a long-term relationship with a client where there's a lifetime value that builds over time? So that's one of the main things is really looking at that, and then automating things to the next step in the process itself. The system should be able to easily automate so that you're not having to do manually what technology can do for you. And I've seen that in some CRM systems where it starts to become a bit patched together, and that doesn't work. So if it can move smoothly again from that top, middle to bottom of funnel, that's really something that you want to look for in a CRM system. And then the other one is reporting. It's, is it giving you up to date, fast, and should give you real time information. Back to, as we've mentioned previously in other sessions, the KPIs, because the CRM system was probably going to generate a good portion of your KPIs. If you're going to be, really focusing on sales and marketing, that's where the numbers are going to be coming from.
Absolutely.
So, that's probably the best is being able to do that. And also finally can it integrate into other systems easily, whatever systems they may be. Sometimes the CRM system is the system, but can it integrate into other systems such as production and so forth? And then ultimately, is it scalable? I mean, how big? You don't want to get into a system that you're comfortable with, and now all of a sudden there needs to be additions or bolt-ons, or you start to outgrow your system. So that's one of the things when you're looking at this from the beginning is this a system built for not only the size of company you are now, but what you want to be? A lot of historically, I've seen a lot of people be oversold on programs that are going to, be able to handle $100 million business. Well, you're never going to, you don't want to be $100 million business. So you don't need, you've over purchased. So let's get back to being proportionate to, what's out there. And there's a lot of great a lot of great companies out there that can do things for, it's a very competitive market, and that's good. That's good for you as a consumer, as a business owner.
Yeah. And I think that, I love what you just said about you want a CRM to be able to handle not just where you are today, but where you want to go. And again, really getting that vision in, because like you said, you don't want to and you don't want to oversize it. You want to have it, again, really built for you for where your vision is. So I think that's key. And, we can talk about the ins and outs. We can talk about the technology. I love stories because I think stories paint the real picture. Do you have a story, a real life example of where a company brought in a CRM and how it really did impact them for the positive?
It's one where they had an existing CRM, but they weren't using it, or they weren't using it to its fullest potential. It's a retail operation. It was actually a food company. It was a production of candy company, and they were strictly tracking leads and clients and people who had potentially who had purchased, but it was really more of just a glorified Excel spreadsheet of customers. They were struggling. Their sales were flat. COVID had hit, and it was really, things went down a lot quicker than they were coming back up. So we looked to reactivate their database because they had all these customers. Well, what are you doing with these customers after a sale? Well, not much. We'll send out occasional flyers, but we haven't tied that into the database.
Right.
So we looked at taking the database and creating an offer to induce people, compelling offer to get people back into the store. Immediate results. Also helped that it was around a holiday, but just re-engaging, because people had known the company, they liked the product, but there wasn't any, you weren't bringing them back in the door again.
Yeah.
They tied this did a little technology offer code so that they could measure the effectiveness of this particular campaign, because you always if you don't, then you've kind of lost a lot of value there. But they immediately, like a month over month increase, they had about a 14% jump in their business, which was pretty substantial. And then have consistently, 6 months down the road, increased their business about 9%, which is a really good jump. But they were able to use that when we were talking about the top, middle, and bottom of funnel. They used the after sale to loop back through the middle and the middle and bottom of the funnel again. They were reusing and started to regain traction with people who'd already known and purchased and bought from them, strictly by implementing a little wider use on their CRM program.
Fantastic. Again, just as we said before, it is critical to be able to stay connected to make sure that we're delivering that value consistently. So,
Mhm.
this has been such a powerful conversation because all of you out there, you need to have a CRM. You're not going to remember it all, and you need to have something that is going to be able to help you, again, stay connected because there could be some hidden opportunities that even you might have forgotten about because time has passed by. So look for those reporting things. Look for ways to, again, make it easy for you and look for a way to help it keep you in front of them. So, Mark, thanks so much for sharing a lot of this. Where is the best place for people to find you if they want to learn more about hiring you as a growth strategist?
There are three ways to reach out to me. The first is my website, which is www.reignitegrowthcoach.com. My email address is markw@reignitegrowthcoach.com. And then my cell and text number is 303-921-3440.
Excellent. All right, everyone, you heard it here. You got to take care of the lifeblood of your systems, which is your people. So make sure that you have an easy, thoughtful, and responsive way to stay connected because when you can be connected with your people, those relationships will bring business back to you. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for more Be Productive.